I wanted to introduce myself in this video if I haven't introduced myself in a while. My name is Liberty Pearson. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, and artist. And I've been doing these free lessons online on my Facebook Live and YouTube since the shelter-in-place started. Today's lesson is one of the most complicated lesson I've done so far because we're doing some paper craft along with some slightly advanced sketching. It looks simple, but it might be a little difficult for some people. And we're going to do some cutting with some exacto knives or some scissors. And we're going to do a card that has a removable piece. So you can open up the card and right there. So, and then put the baby birds back in the love nest of love. Should go smoothly. There we go. Put them right back in there. So let's start with our materials for today. So first of all, you need paper. And I say you need plenty of paper just in case you make a mistake and have to start over again. We also have extra paper because our felt marker bleeds through to the other side. You can also do a more advanced version of today's lesson. Do a more advanced version. If you get some Bristol board or cardstock, then it'll make your card more of a card. Just keep in mind you can't just fold this stuff. You have to take a ruler, make a little, use the back of your pencil, make a little indent. Shouldn't leave color, that one did because the pencil's got color. And then it's a lot easier to fold where you wanted it to fold. So keep in mind if you're using cardstock to do that. Okay, so other materials we have today, we have our color pencils. To make my card that I made for our lesson today, I'm using red, orange, gold, or yellow orange, using blue, violet, and I have black for just adding some more in-depth shading. For this drawing, I didn't use the black, but if we want to make it have more depth and more shading, we're going to add a little black in there. So I'm going to put those away right here. My green and yellow are also in there, but we're not going to use this today. For my drawing utensils, I have my pencil. You could use a lightweight pencil. I have a mechanical pencil. A number 2 pencil might be too hard for your sketching. I also have my exacto knife for making the cuts. If you don't have an exacto knife or you're not old enough to use one, you could use scissors. Like I said, this is a complicated lesson, so my age group is a little older. It's about 12 and up to even adults. I also have a thick felt tip marker, and I have a fine tip pen. So I'm going to put my markers in there, leave my pencil out. And I'm going to leave my exacto knife on the side because I don't have the cap for it and I don't want to put it in there. So go ahead and get your materials together and I'll be right back. I forgot my eraser. Okay, we also have an eraser. I have my eraser now. Set that aside. So this is our final piece. I found an envelope that's going to fit in our card. This envelope is an A9 or an 8 3/4. Sorry, yeah, 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you could use this size envelope to send your card in. Okay, get that out of the way. You see our card uses one piece here and then this piece here folds over the overlap. In order to get our piece perfectly symmetrical, what we're going to do is we're going to make stencils. So these are our stencils. You could use the inverse of the stencil, which would be the part that I cut this out from. But I like to use this because it's easier to hold down while you're tracing. So first we're going to start by making our stencil. So for today's project, you will definitely need at least 2 sheets of paper because one sheet of paper we're going to use to make our stencil and the the other sheet of paper, or other 2 sheets of paper, so you need 3 sheets of paper. The other 2 sheets of paper are going to use to make our card, and then the other one to make our mama bird with the babies. So starting with our stencil, you're going to start with a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to fold it in half, the short way. It doesn't matter if you mess this up, this is just your stencil. So fold it in half, and let me get these out of my way so you can see. Fold it in half, so I have a sheet of paper folded in half. Then you're going to fold it half again the other way. So then you should have kind of like a card here, but we're not going to use this as a card. So start like that. So what I did, I took an 8.5 11 sheet of paper, folded it in half, and folded it in half again. So what we're going to do for our stencils is we only have to draw half heart and half of our mama bird, and then we're going to cut around the edges. So let's start with our heart. So we're actually going to make our project a little bit bigger because we're going to use the full width of this. This one's kind of short. So first we have to figure out where our heart's going to go and where our banner is going to go. So to figure out how big we want our banner, we're going to take this first part of this here, and we're going to fold it, let's say about 1 inch of the way in. So just take that inch and fold it across like that. And then you're going to make a line on that crease. Now you should be sketching like most of our lessons. You're drawing very lightly because you want to erase, but for our stencil, we're not really going to do any erasing. So that's how far our banner is going to go out from the heart. So we only want our heart to go to this line. We're not going to connect our heart all the way to the top because we want our bird to be taller than our heart. So we're going to make our heart about that tall. So we're going to start in the center, do half a heart. Remember, we want it to be as wide as that, and then come down to a point at the bottom. Now I want my heart to be a little curvier than that. You could turn the page if it's easier to make curved lines. For me, it is. There we go. And then next we're going to do our banner, which is going to come across our heart. We want to go a little bit lower than the center, or maybe at center. And we want to do a curve around. You're going to come out. You're going to wiggle this way. And then you're going to wiggle that way and go all the way out to the edge. You see that? I kind of made an S. So your curve's going to start down and then come up. Wiggle this way. Wiggle that way. And then a little bit down about this wide, or you can go shorter if you want to. You're going to do this same line, but down here. You want to go just as far out as this one goes. So over here, we're going to go that far out. We're going to wiggle this way. We want it just the same as that one. Wiggle this way, and then wiggle that way. And you see what we did there? Let me go ahead and fix this line. This is just our stencil, so it doesn't matter if your lines are too dark. You don't have to erase anything. You just sketch over it. Not wiggle, wiggle, and then we're going to make the end of our banner right here. Right there. Okay, so do you see how we did the banner? And then you just connect it right here. And then we can erase these lines in here because that goes behind the heart. And then the places where it goes behind the heart, because your heart is going to go in front, so you can erase these lines back here. So go ahead and make your lines a little darker so that you can see them. And banner banner goes out there. This goes in front of the heart also. So there we have, we finished our heart. So that would be probably the most difficult part, I think. Okay, so now that we have our heart, we're gonna use our heart sketches that we did to let us know how big to make our bird, which is gonna be on the back. You see that? This is on the back. So you see where you made this fold right here? Go ahead and take your pencil and make a line right along that line so it's on the other page. You're gonna take this, you're gonna fold it one more time over, like just like that. Try to make it as straight as you can, and then make another line. All right, so now you should have 2 lines on this side and a bunch of folds on this side. You did your heart on this side, so flip it over. We're going to use these lines to make our mama bird. So go ahead and fold it in half backwards way. And now we're going to make our mama bird. So we started our heart down a little bit. So we're going to start our mama bird up because her head is going to stick up in between. So our mama bird, if it's easier, you could do it open and then do the circles, or you could just do them on the side. I'm going to open it up. I see my center line. I'm going to draw it so that I can see it and so that you can see it. And up at the top, we're going to make the mama bird's head. Pretty big head, and the mama bird's body. We want our body to fit inside these lines. Don't go all the way to the line. The baby bird is going to go to the line. So go ahead, after you've done that, fold it in half so all you see is the pear shape. And go ahead and outline those circles so that you kind of make a pear. Like that. And then the baby bird is going to go right on the side here. The baby bird's going to go up against that line. The baby bird's just a circle or an oval. Make her kind of big, maybe about as big as the mama bird's head. And then the wings are going to go out to almost this line. So we're going to come out from the side, we're going to go up, we're going to make a curve. And don't touch the line, but get close to it. And we're going to come down. We're going to bring this down below the baby bird because she's supposed to be hugging the baby bird. All right, and then come back up. We're going to add a feather right there. Same curve as our big feather. We're going to have a little feather. And then there'll be a third feather here, but we can draw that later. And then it'll be there, there. You don't need to draw these. This is just so you can see how it's going. All you really need is that outside line. All right, so that'll be our stencil for our mama bird. Just make sure where this line goes down is where a baby bird and our feathers connect. All right, so the next plan is to cut out our stencil. So go ahead and open this back up. So you should have half a heart on one side and a bird on the other. Take your scissors or your exacto knife and cut the 2 pieces apart from each other. For this one, I'm going to use scissors. And next I'm going to do my heart, so fold it back in half and just cut around your line. So cut the heart, go around the banner. You're just cutting out the outside all the way to the edge. All right, come back to the heart. And do the top of the heart. Somebody's got allergies in my house. And there, you have your stencil. Nice and big, right? This is our other one. We made that small. This one's nice and big. Okay, so get that out of the way. Clean up our mess before we make more of a mess. Next, we're gonna do our mama bird. So take this, fold it in half, cut around the whole thing. So we're gonna start at the bottom, go up to our baby bird, go around our baby bird, go around our feathers, go around our wings, I'm going to stop cutting there and come over here because it'll be easier to go into there than to go around. Okay, and we have our mama bird stencil. I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure I have baby bird up high enough to stick out from the heart. So my wing is going to hook on my heart right there. I'm going to bring that down to there. Looks like my baby bird is going to stick up about that much. Let's see how much my baby bird stuck out in the demo version. So I might want to make my baby bird a little taller. So we'll bring baby bird up there. So we'll erase these lines. Don't worry, it's just a stencil. And make sure my baby bird is big enough to be in the picture so the bird will go like that. Okay, so we have our mama bird stencil and we have our heart stencil. So go ahead and set those aside. Clean up my mess. All right, now we're going to use our heart stencil to start our card. So get another 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper or a piece of Bristol board or cardstock. For the paper, you just fold it in half. For the cardstock, you're going to take a ruler. You're going to go halfway down the page and crease it. So run this along it, press hard, run it along, and then it should fold after that. But since we're just using paper, we could just fold it in half. Okie dokie. So then we're going to take our heart stencil and we're going to put it all the way up to the top, even so that the heart, the top of the heart goes over the top just a little bit. Do you see that? It goes over the top a little bit. Make sure it's in the center and slightly over the top. See how it bumps like that? Because that's where your card is going to connect and fold in half. So I'm going to use, let's see how well you can see this red pencil. You can see that pretty well. I'm going to use the red pencil just to outline my stencil. So you're just going to make the lines around the outside of the stencil. Hold it steady with your hand. See, I'm going to stop at the top and then come back down here and go like that all the way to the edge. Oop. Across the bottom of the banner, from the bottom. If you get outside here, that's no problem. You're just going to erase that. Don't be afraid to turn your body, because you can't turn the paper right now because you're trying to hold this. You can tape down your stencil if that helps, but just make sure it's not tape that's going to rip your card. Don't forget, I always forget something. There we go. So there we have it like that. And you're going to take your pencil back, and we're going to go ahead and do both sides of the heart. So this curve right here is the curve that goes across the bottom. So just go ahead and connect those like that. And then our other curve, we could use our stencil to show us where it goes. So right here, go ahead and make a really dark mark where that comes across the top, and then it should leave an indent on your page. And you're gonna go all the way out to here, because remember your banner goes up there. You're gonna go like that. You could also do it like this. Take your stencil, fold it in half. You can mark your banner that way. Then you know how tall to get it. Go like that. Finish our heart. Remember, our heart is coming. You might want to draw right through, because you can erase. You're sketching, so you could draw right through. You're just going to erase it. And then this curves, goes back here. This curves, goes back here. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You're making this for Mom. She's gonna love it no matter what. Right, Mom? I'll mail it to you as soon as I finish. Okie dokie. So there, the hardest part of our heart is done. So go ahead and set that paper aside. Let me give you one more look. You see how we did that? Did in the center. In order to figure out how big our banner should be, we took our stencil, folded it in half, and wrote everything down. Okay, so next we're going to do our baby bird. So get this out of the way. Grab your third sheet of paper. It doesn't matter what you use for this part of the paper. You just got to cut it out, so you could do it right in the center if you want to. So you're just going to trace that out. It's easier if you do it in the center. Go ahead and trace your stencil. Don't forget to hold it down. Now while we're tracing, I just want to tell you, so I have a little brother, and my mom raised me and my little brother and me. So that's why I have 2 baby birds. If you only have, you're an only child, you could just do 1 baby bird and just do the one on the side, not doing the other side, or you could do the baby bird right in the middle, looking up at the mom. If you have 2 siblings, you could do 3 baby birds, and that would be 2 on the side and then 1 in the middle. If you have 4 siblings or 3 siblings, do you get where I'm going with this? Just add more baby birds. My cat does not like it when I make videos. Okay, we have that right there. So I'm going to leave this within my eyesight, because I'm going to go ahead and sketch the rest of this. So I am going to make that big circle. That's my mama bird's head, because I'm going to shade that in the circle. Then I'm going to add my baby bird. 1 baby bird. I'm going to add my other baby bird over here. I want them the same height, so I'm going to make a little line so that they come out the same height. They're just like little eggs. I'm going to do my wings on both sides. So those are the big feathers, and then the little feathers. I guess they're medium feathers. And then those there. Big group of feathers. We don't have to do all the feathers. That's not important in our drawing. 3 little bumps there. We're just trying to make it look as symmetrical as possible. We're going to do our mama bird's beak, who's going to come towards the bottom of the head. And we're going to, if you can't see the center, draw a line. There you go. Mama bird's head. Just a little triangle without a top on it. Mama bird's eyes. They're going to be closed because she's looking down. I'm going to make my mama bird look more feminine. If you want your mama bird to look more masculine, I'd say don't go heavy on the eyelashes. If your mama bird is a daddy bird, maybe not put the eyelashes on either. But I'm going to put some eyelashes on my mama bird. All right, next we want to make our baby birds a little bit darker on the lines. So I'm going to come in here. Make my lines darker. And my mom also has a little white part on her chest. So we're going to do that there. We're going to do our baby bird beaks. Baby birds are looking up at mom. So like I said, if you're an only child, go ahead and just put one here, or you could put, draw it for you really quick. You put one in the center, which would be looking up like that, but we're just going to do those. And our baby birds are going to have happy eyes, so they're going to be curved up. That one's for my brother, and we're going to put a little wing on here. And this one's for me. Oh, I did the eye the wrong way. You could do it both ways, but they look happier if they're arching up. And I'm going to give myself some eyelashes. All right. If you want to add more detail to the feathers, I'd recommend adding it later. So right now, let's just finish our project. All right. And mama bird can also have some feet. So we're gonna give her some tiny feet and give me my wings. There we go. All right, so next step is to ink these before we cut them. So go ahead and get your big Sharpie out, or your marker. And don't forget, if you're working with a felt marker, put a piece of paper or 2 underneath it. Okie dokie. So go ahead and start by outlining the mama bird's body. I'm going to come all the way down there to our baby birds. We're going to stop, do the bottom of mom's body. All right, we're going to do our baby birds. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Do the wings. Do my brother baby bird. I'm having bad marker skills today. Do the wings. Just doing the outlines. I'm going to do the rest with my fine tip pen. And now do the mama bird's wings. You're doing the whole drawing, not just the outside. All right. We're going to use our fine tip pen to do the little details. So we're going to do Mama Bird's beak. I'm going to put the cap on the back of this. It helps balance it out a little better. You're going to do Mama Bird's eyes, or Daddy Bird. Whoever gets the Mother's Day presents gets to be the bird. Do her eyelashes. Let's do her chest. We're going to come around like that with it. We're going to do her feet, little tiny feet. I don't know why I did little feet. I thought they were cute. We're going to do Baby Bird's eyes. Baby Bird's beak. And I think that's it. All right, so go ahead and erase your line work. Your pencil lines. Oh, we forgot to do the baby bird's wings. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Next, we're going to go ahead and color our Mama Bird. I chose blue because a blue bird just sounded nice to me, and that's also my mom's favorite color. So go ahead and take your blue color pencil and lay it down lightly, all in one direction, over your Mama Bird, except for her chest. We're going to leave that white. And just a reminder, we might go over on time today. Our lesson today is complicated with multiple steps and multiple mediums, so if you can't finish, just watch the video later on the event page, or it'll be on my YouTube, hopefully by tomorrow, since Mother's Day is on Sunday. Go ahead and do her wings. Remember, we're laying it down lightly, even pressure. Look at how I'm holding my hand. I'm holding my pencil like a pair of chopsticks. Doesn't matter if you go outside the lines, you're gonna cut this out. Try to go in the same direction, makes it pretty even. And then down here, just a little bit of blue. Now I'm going to color my brother bird all blue, because my mom and my brother have similar complexions, which is their skin tone. I, on the other hand, am a mix of my mother's skin tone, which would be blue, since she's a blue bird, and my dad's skin tone, which in this case I'm going to use red, and so I'm going to be a violet bird. So lightly, I'm going to take my red, very lightly, because red has lots of pigment, and I'm going to put red over my blue on my baby bird. Just until I get the purple I want, or the violet that I want. You could always add more blue. Okay, so next we're going to do some shading. So we're going to go back to our blue color pencil, and just like in our last lessons, things have shadows behind where they have the light, or if there's an object in front of them, they cast the shadow. And if the light is going straight on from an object, there tends to be a shadow casted around the edge. So we're going to say that our light is coming from our mama's bird's heart. So the mama bird is going to have a shadow casted around her outside. So we're going to go ahead and add some more color pencil around the edges. So this way her face is illuminated. So there would be a shadow around the outside. You see how it's building up to get darker? And just keep adding it on. Press a little bit harder. Don't press too hard. All right. Also, our mother has a head, so we're going to do a little bit of a curve underneath her chin. I don't know if birds have chin. I don't, but cartoon birds do. So we're kind of going to go in like that. And if you're following along, I hope you get the hang of this. This is a little complicated. And there you see how we have some curves around the head. And then also our baby birds are going to cast a shadow on our mama birds. So we're going to get dark right around where our baby birds are. Don't color in the beaks. The yellow is going to be hard to cover up the blue. So we're going to go right behind our baby birds. We're not going to worry about the chest. We're just going to leave that white. And then we want to blend our shadows into our light areas. Go a little bit dark over here. Just keep building up. A little bit darker, a little bit darker. Okay, next we're going to do the wings. So the body is in front of the wings, so it's going to get dark right where the body goes over the wings. And it's going to blend in, so go really light. Dark in the beginning, and then light as it comes out. Do that on this other side. And I'm going to let you catch up while I go grab a phone charger. So go ahead and keep shading. I'm going to plug in my charger now. Move the camera a little bit. Charging. Okay, so back to shading. So we got dark right here in the wings, so we're going to lighten it up as we go out. Blend it in. We're going to get dark behind the baby birds. So we're going to go in here, all the way around the baby bird. Get dark right where it's by the bird, and then lighter as it comes out. Like that. Do the same thing on the other baby bird. If you have two baby birds, otherwise you only have to do it on one side. We also have to do the same thing on the wings. So where the wings are in front of another wing, you're going to want to make shadows right where it overlaps. And then blend it in. So dark and then light. Do the same thing on the next wing. And just like we did the outside of the mom's head, you're going to do the outside of the wings. Just around the edges, and make sure you blend it in. Same thing around the outside of the wing. There's going to be a little bit of a shadow on the outside. Do the same thing over here. So we're behind this wing. Blend it in. You want to make it dark, but you do want to blend it in. Go around the outside. Don't forget to blend it in. Okay, so we've got these feathers on top of those feathers, so there'll be a shadow right where it overlaps. And these are in front of that one, like that. Do the same thing on the other side. If it's too harsh, blend it in. Sometimes you want it to be high contrast. And then down here, the mama birds, it's all dark. So just go ahead and you can color pretty dark down there. We're going to do the same thing to baby birds. So if the light's coming from the mama bird, I want the light coming from here. So the shadow would be casted around the back side. So we're going to take our blue and we're going to, this is the same way you would shade a sphere almost, because you want the bird to look round. I want to get it really dark back here because the bird's also behind the wing. There we go. And these would be really dark. Same thing with his feathers. It'll be dark where they overlap and then lighten up. And a little darker here. And then for me, I'm going to do the same thing for my bird. I'm going to be dark back here. And down here. Then I'm also going to add some red into mine because remember, wrong red. I'm coming out a little too red, so I'm going to add some more blue. Alrighty. Next we're going to do our beaks. I'm going to use the yellow orange or the golden orange. I'm going to do the little beaks on there. Oh, I colored the mama bird's beak. Don't do that. Otherwise it'll come out green. That's okay. And the feet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get this out of our way until we finish our heart. So let's move that out of the way. We're going to cut them both at the same time. So now we have our heart. So this one's going to be easy. Go ahead and grab your thick felt tip marker. Make sure you're on top of a piece of paper and you're going to outline your heart. Start with the heart. It'll be easier that way. Don't break your frame. Remember, you have a banner. And then let's do your banner. Don't forget to turn the paper so it's easier for you to draw. See how easy that line was because I used my arm. Now I'm going to do the curve. Okay, go ahead and erase your pencil lines. They are unnecessary. Okay, next we're going to color our heart and our banner. After we do our mom, so we're going to take our bird stencil. We're going to put it in the center of our heart, so that this area right here and that this area right here go over our line. So we're going to drop it in like that. And we see that our mama bird wings go right here. Go ahead and trace them. Go right here. You see, you want the word mom to fit inside that mark. If you have 4 baby birds, Mom, well, you do one over here, one over here, one right here, and one right here, and you'd have them all looking up at mommy. That's how you would do 4 baby birds. You got 5, one more. 5 baby birds. That's a lot of baby birds. So that's how you do more baby birds. So we made our lines, and so now we're going to do our mom. We want our letters to fit inside our banner. They're not going to go all the way to the edge, so we're going to make a line to show us how high we want our letters and a line to go how low. So we're going to go ahead and sketch a line right there. Remember, you're sketching. I'm making it dark so that you could see it. And the line right there. And we're going to go ahead and split it in half because mom is 3 letters and the letters are just about the same width as each other. So we won't have any trouble with spacing. So you want to split this in 2/3. You want it in the center. And there's my third. So we're going to do an O and an M. I did capital letters. You could use lowercase letters if you want. Or if you want to get really fancy, if you're good at lettering, you could do a script font. So that's like cursive. You'd write like mom, like that, but we're not going to do that. All right. And I'm going to do a modern serif font. So that means it's got the little, if I have my M, it's got the little feet and hats on the top and bottom. And I'm also going to make my letters thick, like that. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to make this M, lines in the M, big. Make the lines on this M, big. And this one. The O is going to be big on both sides. And then we're going to put little feet on the top and the bottom. Little feet right there. Little feet right there. The O doesn't get any feet or hats. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and take my fine tip and trace my letters. So I'll make it close to the page for this one. By the way, I mostly film my videos standing up. But when it comes to doing high detail, I've got to get close to the page. Oh, made a mistake. Try not to make the mistakes with the markers. Okay, so there's my mom. Now if you want to, you can color in the parts that are thick with a different color. But I'm just going to use my thick felt tip marker. Be very careful because this marker bleeds. Oh, and also open your page up like that when you do the marker on the inside. If you want to make your lines thicker, go ahead and use the felt marker to make them thicker. I might make mine a little thicker. Yeah, I'm gonna make them a little bit thicker. I did it large enough that I could use my marker for all the letter. The first card I made was a little bit smaller, so the felt marker would have been too thick for my letters. There you go. All right, go ahead and erase all those pencil lines you made. I hope you did them lightly. Remember I told you to sketch. Okay, next comes the fun part. So let's start with the scissors part first. The easy part with the scissors, and that's where we're going to cut out our heart. So go ahead and take this and fold it, and you're going to cut around the outside. Rewind. We didn't color our heart. So go ahead and grab your red orange and lay this down over the whole thing. Lightly. I'm holding it like a pair of chopsticks. Try to color within the lines. If you go outside these lines, that's no problem. But if you go inside your banner, that might be an issue. So be careful around the banner. Lay it out evenly and on the bottom too. Okay, now turn the page and let's go in the other direction over everything. This will make your color pencil a little bit darker. Paper isn't perfectly flat, so there's little grooves. And by coloring in both directions, you get both sides of those little bumps. So it'll make your color look more vibrant. Okay, so you applied a little more pressure that time. Okay, next we're going to take our red and we're going to give our heart some form by making it darker around the edges, just like we did with our mama bird, because the light's going to be coming from the center. So go ahead and take your red and start to shade the outside of the heart. Very lightly, hold it like chopsticks. Just around the outside. And around the bottom. Bottom's easier to do, it's just two curves. And don't forget to blend it in. Keep building up. Blending it in. Now I'm pressing harder when I get around the outside, and I'm not pressing as hard as I come to the center. I don't know if you noticed that. You can't see how much pressure I'm applying. Okay, we also have a banner in front of our heart, so our banner is going to cast a shadow. So right along the edge where our banner is, we're going to make it a little darker with the red. And then blend it in. A little bit more. Especially in these corners, you're going to want to make it dark. And then behind our banner on the bottom. The bottom of the heart is going to be fairly darker than the rest of the heart. Blend it all in. And then last, we're going to take our violet and we're also going to go lightly around our edge. Just the very edge. And just behind the banner. You're almost just going over the marker line and just coming a little bit out. Lightly, hold it like chopsticks, otherwise you're going to make your lines too dark. All right, there's our heart. I think I need to do a little more blending. You do the circular motion for blending, works pretty well. There, that looks better. All right, for our banner, we're going to use our gold or our yellow orange, and we're going to color our banner. You know, won't give a decent amount of pressure because the gold's not that bright, and we want it to be fairly vibrant. You're not just going to do the front of the banner, but you're going to go behind the banner and then also the ends of our banner. Go ahead and color those with the yellow orange or the gold as well. I got something under my page. There we go. And go ahead and go in another direction just to make it more vibrant. Okay, we're going to take our yellow or red orange and we're going to come in here and darken these spots because that's not only behind the banner but it's also behind the heart, so it's going to be fairly dark. So go ahead and lay this down right over the top. Do it on the same side. We're going to make a design choice. We're also going to darken the ends of our banner, but we're going to make the lines in one direction. So go ahead and turn your card this way and then make your lines like this. Like that, like eyelashes or like you're doing hair. And only do it till it looks about that dark. You don't want it as dark as here, but you want it that dark. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. And take your gold, blend it in. Take your gold, blend it in. And then we're also going to do the same to the very edges of here. We're going to make some hairlines like that. Make some, like you want them to curve just like the line curves, like that. And then take your orange and blend it in, or your yellow gold, blend it in. There we go. So now get out the scissors and cut out your heart while it's folded. So fold it in half and then cut it out. So first let's start by cutting out the middle. And you want to cut around the outside of your marker lines so you can still see the marker lines after you're done cutting it. Try your best to do this. Don't cut your finger. If you need an adult, ask an adult to help you. Just see how shaky my hand is. Let's come down here. Try to be careful while you're cutting. You could also always cut pieces away like I just did, instead of trying to follow it the whole way. Okie dokie. And next we're going to cut this guy out. Now for this I'm going to use my exacto knife. You can use scissors to cut it out because we did use scissors to cut out our stencil, but I'm going to use a knife. So I'm going to get down close and cut out my mama bird. If you're using an exacto knife, turn the page, not your hand, because you always want to be pulling the knife in the same direction. Had to sit down again to do this. It's okay if you don't do it perfectly. We'll be able to fix it if it doesn't fit into the heart. Oh, got a little dangerous right there. And we're cutting outside our marker lines, so we still have our marker lines. If you're using an X-Acto knife, make sure you have some cardboard underneath you. Cardboard, or I have a cutting mat. That's what this is. Best purchase ever from IKEA. It's not self-healing, but it does the job, and I think it was only like $5. There, we're done. We got our mama bird out. Get that out of the way. All right, so we're gonna line these up again. So we're gonna see, we put mama bird in the center. We want to peek. Do you see where the banner is? Where it peeks out of these little holes right here. You're gonna take one of your colored pencils, make a little mark on one side. I can barely see that mark, but you want to barely be able to see it. Open your card up. Fold it in half. Don't fold it all the way, just crease it a little bit, and then take your scissors. Now remember, it's open. It's open. Take your scissors, cut above the marker line all the way to that mark. So then it should cut like that. All right. Then take your mama bird with your babies, open up the little nest, and slide the babies into the nest. If it's not quite big enough, go ahead and just widen it a little bit. The only way you can make a mistake is if you make it too wide, and then your mama bird will slip right through. But the wings should hold her up. And there we go. Get all this stuff out of the way. Out of the way, out of the way. All right, so I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take my fine tip pen and I'm going to write, "Dear Mom, you are the best mom that these two little birds could have asked for. Love," and my mom calls me Lib. So I got my mama bird inside my card. Put mama bird in the nest. This should fit inside my envelope. Open it up. Whenever you put a card in an envelope, you want it so that when they open it up, they see the cover of it. So we're going to put that in there. And close it. I'm going to do it in our favorite color. I'm going to put 2 Mom from Lib. All right, that's the end of today's lesson. That was a long lesson. I hope you were able to hang in there. I hope you ended up with a beautiful Mother's Day card. And if you didn't get to do it with me, go ahead and watch the video later and make one by Sunday. Even a late Mother's Day card is a great Mother's Day card. Thank you again for viewing. Again, my name is Liberty Pearson, illustrator, graphic designer, artist. You could follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, If you're interested in any of my arts and crafts, or if you just want to get to know a member of the community. All right, guys, have a happy Mother's Day, and I will not see you tomorrow for Friday. It is Art Walk tomorrow. You can watch or view our virtual Art Walk, our virtual talent showcase, starting tomorrow at vallejoartwalk.org, or also on our Art Walk Facebook page. So hopefully you got to make a beautiful card, and thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend.